Welcome back to Be Afraid of the Dark. As always, I'm your shotgun Breck. Next to me is your driver Spencer. And this week we're the podcast asking the big questions, like, does Pennywise exist in the supernatural universe? Do bikini inspectors still exist? And what kind of house doesn't have salt? This is Be Afraid of the Dark.
We're back.
We're
and
back.
We're talking about 2 more episodes.
2 great episodes.
2 that I super enjoy. I think these are really rad.
2 episodes that I have actually quite a few memories of. I thought they were honestly, I either thought they were later or earlier in the season, but they end up smack right here. So
I remembered nothing about either of these. I remember a little bit about Provenance, mostly like one thing, like the thing about Provenance, but I don't really remember anything else. I'm a bad Supernatural fan, I suppose.
No, I just watched this season probably like 200 times.
Anyway, we'll get to all that starting this episode out with Season 1, Episode 18, Something Wicked, written by Daniel Knuff? I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Directed by Whitney Rancic.
Cool. Girl director.
Cool.
It is cool.
Anyway, this is a very, very classical horror movie.
Very, very classical. Like I said,
idea and kind of scene for our cold open.
I don't make the Pennywise like allegory here lightly. This is a very Stephen King ass episode.
Yes. So it opens with a dad putting his daughter to bed.
Her creepy child voice praying.
Yeah, praying daughter to bed, alluding.
To keep.
Yeah, terrifying. Alluding to the fact that her older sibling is sick and in the hospital, and we don't really know what's going on. She starts going to bed, and we get like a genuine scare for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like actually scary is this like creepy hand, and because the branches are tapping the window.
With another like classical like spooky like the branches were tapping the window.
Yes, and then a spooky long-fingered hand, robed hand, kind of inches in.
You hate a long.
I hate
hand.
I hate it, but it was actually scary to me. And then then the window opens, and this we don't know what it is yet, but it crawls in. And its mouth turns blue and it sucks the life force. And we cut to black. And then it's a good cold open.
It's a great cold open. I really, really enjoyed this one. This is a pretty classical, spooky, supernatural cold open. Yeah,
it's a good one.
Yeah.
We get Sam and Dean in the car arguing, as always, which we get a funny line. I can't remember exactly what the argument is, but it's this is the one where they've gotten the coordinates from their dad.
Yes.
And Sam's like, it's nowhere, which is funny because it's a whole ass town. Like I don't.
It's like it has a hospital. Like
anyway,
it has like a metropolitan center.
Yes, it's very strange. But Dean gives the line, "Well, I'm the oldest, which means I'm always right," which is funny.
It's
most very them.
Incredibly Dean of him to say.
Yes.
But yeah, it's another very it may be stereotypical argument. There's nothing here is too close to the sun a little bit because it is Sam being like, "There's nothing here," and you're like, "Buddy, how many times?"
There's
have we
always
said this?
something.
There's
there.
always.
I would have
something.
loved a Supernatural episode where they spend the entire time looking into something and it turns out to be nothing.
It's
like 45 minutes of solid
so
investigation into nothing found. Anyway,
there's always money in the banana stand.
There's always money in the banana stand. Anyway, they get to this town. They do a little dig and talk to a few people, and we get this great moment with this really cool trope that I don't know if it's a trope actually, but it's a moment I really like, which is the where are the kids at, right? Sam is looking at this park, and he's like, what's wrong with this picture? And Dean kind of looks, he's like, school should be out by now.
Yeah.
And there's like one kid playing on the playground. I think it sets up this like really mysterious nature to the town, as like what's going on. Is the town doing this? Which we've already had a town as the villain episode, but it's not the last time we'll get one of those, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure not.
That's a cool idea. I'm really into that as a setup for the mystery of getting them both to lock in. They talk to one of the moms there. She kind of reveals a bunch of kids in town have been getting sick.
You know how you just tell that to some adult man that walks up to you at the playground?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You're like, Dean, maybe you shouldn't be an adult man hanging around the park going, where are all the kids?
Yeah, smaller towns, I guess.
Different. Where are they in like Wisconsin or something?
Yeah.
Again, I have to point out again, it has never once changed seasons.
No, it's always perpetually fall in this universe.
It's beautiful.
Which I'm into.
I would love to be there.
they go to the hospital posing as CDC members, and we get a truly great exchange that you were very excited about.
Because
I'll let you
it was one of the key details of this episode, besides kind of the actual like plot heaviness later, that I remembered, because it's the fake ID that Dean gives Sam, says bikini inspector on it, and he's like, relax, no one will notice. And then immediately the first nurse that Sam talks to is like, can I see some ID? And he has to be like,
and Dean just gives this truly great like
it's
he's
so
such a big
funny.
brother in that moment.
It's ridiculous. Like that's what makes me laugh more than the joke of like bikini inspector, which is so like
it's Dean's
FBI female body inspector.
It's Dean's childish like, hey, got him. Like it's
and then
so funny.
Sam having to actually use the ID, it makes me laugh.
Yeah, they again, whenever they get to be a little sillier together, it always really works.
They never again, if they don't have this, then we don't believe that they're siblings that care for each other this much.
Yes, truly. And then they proceed down the hall, and Dean kind of clocks a creepy old woman with an upside down cross in her room.
God forbid a hag does anything.
I know, true, right? There's always an old timer, and this time it's a weird old timer.
Yeah.
There's not always an old timer.
There's
Occasionally
not always
we don't
an
get
old timer, but she's a pretty fun old timer for sure.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately a red herring, but a good red herring.
Yeah,
it's every investigation needs some kind of like side angle thing, and Supernatural is that to a T, where it's like the first thing is never it, so they have to find the next thing. It's good television.
It's great.
So they see that they talk to this doctor. Do you remember his name? Heidecker, yeah. They talk to Dr. Heidecker. He kind of explains that he was about to call the CDC, and Dean plays it off of like, some GP called whatever his name was, and he moves on in a good like nonchalant kind of like, yes, we're here because of that.
Yeah, Dean's a great liar on the fly.
Yeah, and so they asked to talk to all these kids who are quarantined, and they're all unconscious, 8 or 9 of them or something.
Yeah, there's like 9 children in a coma and they're like, we thought it was like bacterial pneumonia, and then I was like, well, is pneumonia not usually bacterial? But
yeah, well, exactly. And then we get something that I have come to appreciate and love, which is one of the Winchester brothers always has to be doubting. In this episode, it's Sam's turn.
Oh, it's so fun. I love it.
Every time it's like, guys, whenever I would have loved an episode where they go to investigate something and they spend the whole episode looking into it and it is nothing. Because then I could have implied that happens all the time to them.
It would, which I think it does. I think it probably does happen off screen.
Yeah.
Like again, like we talked about this when we watched Faith. I love the implication that there are times where the Winchesters go to do something and it's the most like open and shut, or nothing has happened, like case.
Yeah.
And we also find out in this scene that it's spreading from child to child in families before moving on to a new family.
Which is, by the way, super creepy and cool. I'm into that. Again, that feels very Stephen King to me.
So this is so It 1986 coded.
And like I can't pinpoint it because in It 1986, Pennywise doesn't kill that way, but there's something about that.
He doesn't even like steal the bodies. Like he just
something about that like rule that makes a lot of sense for a Stephen King.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, they talk to the father of the girl from the cold open. He's just kind of like, oh, it happened. The window was open, and Dean kind of clocks it. Dean's like, I may know what's going on. We get this great little moment where it's like, I bet you he's probably been here a long time. Bet you he's not leaving. So like, whatever. And then they go, they break into the house.
I have a note that just says Dean's little devious expression, because I love the little micro expression Jensen does there of like,
his little like, yeah, it's really good. So they break into this house. They start looking around. They find the window.
There's no EMF.
There's no real anything to implicate anything. Mm-hmm. They look out the window, and is it Sam or Dean that spots it?
I believe it's Dean.
Or no, it's Sam, because Sam goes, I think you're right?
Yeah.
This doesn't matter. This is semantics. One of them spots something, and Dean comes over. He's like, I know what we're hunting.
Yeah, and it's like...
It's this really... Which is such a cool idea, because it's not pressed into... It's rotted wood.
Yes.
Which is such a cool idea that this thing is so evil and monstrous. It's preying on children and their life force. And it's like rotting their bodies.
Yeah.
So it literally, whatever it touches that's organic dies. I think that's really cool.
It's a very fun, creepy idea that something is so evil that you're right, that it just rots what it touches.
Yeah,
it's
very fascinating. And then we get a first for Supernatural, but not a last.
Yes.
We get, this is a flashback
certainly
episode.
Not a last.
Yeah. How does the flashback thing work for you, by the way?
I mean, I love it personally.
Yeah.
Like, I think they don't use this kid Sam again, I believe, but they use this kid Dean like once or twice more.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure because he's in there's a couple standout flashbacks of them in like there's again in season 4 there's that episode where they go to the high school where they used to go.
Yeah.
And those two are great as like young Sam and Dean, but this young Dean in particular I think is great. And I really like them. I always loved this episode because I loved the brothers' relationship in this episode and seeing Dean's guilt. So personally, it works for me. I don't know. Does it work for you?
It's more like how they choose to shoot it. Like the color grade they put on it's a little funny.
It's a little funky for sure.
Like dropping John into this episode in that way is smart, but also kind of weird. I don't know. I don't have any hard or fast feelings on it. I like the content of what's going on in the flashback. I think I agree with you. It shows a lot of Dean's guilt, and it shows a lot of Dean's like paternal side where he's going to be the guy that sacrifices for Sam. Like,
100%.
It's silly. It's Lucky Charms, but then you get that really cute moment later where,
when
do
he's
you
like,
want the
do you want
prize?
the prize?
It's
so
really cute.
Let's delve into the scene then, because I got a couple quotes.
Okay, delve in. Go. It's John leaving. That's the setup of the scene. John is leaving and explaining they need to stay in this hotel room.
Yes, and he's like, you have to stay. There's a couple lines. There's one that really stands out to me of, like, John is running over clearly for like the 200th time, like what he's supposed to do to Dean.
Yes.
And Dean goes, I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
Which I think is just, I'm like, you're like 5 years old. You should be stupid.
Yeah.
And then John goes, I know you're not, but it only takes one mistake.
Yeah.
Which is, again, very indicative.
Scary thing to tell a child.
Incredibly terrifying thing to tell your child.
Yeah.
Let alone any child. And I don't know. It just, again, if John Winchester has no haters, I'm dead.
Yeah.
This to me is so perfectly emblematic of like Dean's child soldier treatment.
Yes.
Even if John is affectionate
sure.
with him sometimes, and we'll get into this later of how it changes over the course of this episode, but even if John is still an affectionate father to him at this point, they're child soldiers. Like Sam clearly does not know. Sam has clearly not been trained on anything yet, and Dean has.
Yeah.
Which is very depressing to me. And this also segues into referencing Pastor Jim again.
Yep, Pastor Jim. Well, the line that in this that sticks out to me is, what's the number one rule is watch out for Sammy, which is so tragic.
Like,
yeah.
Like, it makes me crazy.
Well, and I love this. I noted this, that as usual, they have to clean up John's mess.
Yes, I have. As usual, they have to fix John's half-assed work.
This place has been marked in his book, and he's trying to link it to anything, but he can't. So, of course, this is like the 4th time this season that this happened.
Yes.
Really funny. I mean, look, I get it. Like, when you're investigating, there's sure things, and there's things you're keeping an eye on.
Yeah.
I get it. It's just funny that it's lined up this way.
It's hysterical.
And he sent them the coordinates for it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They go to a motel, and they run into a kid. And the kid asks, one king or two
king or two queens.
Yeah, and Dean goes, 2 queens, and the kid looks out and sees Sam and goes, right.
He goes, yeah, I bet.
Which is not funny.
It's funny to me.
But it's a little bit funny.
I can laugh at this.
It's funny in its early 2000s way.
I can laugh at this. I'm bisexual, and I think it's a hilarious example of period typical homophobia. And it's even funnier that a child is saying it.
That's the funny part to me, is that it's a literal kid. Like who?
Yeah, it's so funny to me.
It's funny that a kid is saying something like that to an adult stranger.
Yes.
That's the part of it that I find humorous.
You're like, this kid
what a wild...
hates working at the motel with his mom.
Yeah. Well, then Dean, he looks up and sees this kid has a little brother, and he is the one who has to take on the responsibility. You know, he's manning the station or the desk and all these things. And Dean is having his like Vietnam flashbacks this episode because he flashes back to having to take care of Sam and get Sam dinner.
I wrote low-key, this is Dean's It episode, because literally this is Dean flashing back to the thing as a, like, it's literally the thing that haunted him as a child and it's now haunting him as an adult.
Yes,
like,
yes.
It's kind of ridiculous.
So
this is also shortly before they see the kid. Dean mentions Striga for the first time, which we'll get into more in a second, because he just kind of mentions it off.
Well, let's just get into it, because they go to their hotel room and they find out some stuff.
Yes. So the Striga traces back to Rome and feeds off life force, and it'll try and kill anybody, but it mostly prefers children.
Yeah, which again, the like breath of life is the phrasage they use, and I think that's really cool and creepy.
I also love that Sam can clearly tell that Dean is omitting something here.
Yes. Well, okay, he's omitting something, but then we get this scene of revelation, and I just want to point out that Venetian blinds have done so much for cinematic lighting.
Oh, chiaroscuro, thank you.
Unbelievable, because like it's just Dean having this like moment of realization, and there's just these Venetian blind lights hitting. It's so good.
Gorgeous.
Venetian blinds, thank you for everything that you do.
Literally, thank you for your work. Can't just honorary Oscar for them. But also, during the scene, we're getting another flashback, like we said, of Dean, trying to feed Sam dinner and everything. And Sam's like, I don't want SpaghettiOs. And he's like, you literally asked for them, which if you've ever taken care of a child, that's everything.
It's what it is.
It's what it is. And he wants Lucky Charms, and Dean tries to be like, well, there's only enough for one bowl left and I haven't had any. And then he just gives it. And then Sam,
he gives it to him,
and we get, even when they were kids, Sam used puppy eyes to get Dean.
Yeah, it's true.
But then there's the really sweet moment of, do you want the prize?
It's very sweet. They go from that moment, and then Dean reveals that he saw an old woman, and Sam's like, okay, in a hospital, woo, with an inverted cross. Jared plays that moment really funnily.
An old person in the hospital, woo, better call the Coast Guard.
Yes, but Jared plays the moment really. He's like with an inverted cross, and he kind of goes. He gets like serious really quickly. He's like, oh,
so fun.
They break into the hospital. They break into this woman's room, and they have guns drawn. And Dean's like walking around, and she wakes up or calls them out. She's blind. And she's like, fix that cross. Who are you two? Get out of here. Whatever. She's funny. I like her.
I'm obsessed with her.
She's quite a character. They get out of there, and Dean gives this wonderful line. He's like, I almost smoked that old gal, I swear.
It's so funny.
Jared and Jensen truly are the masters of the funny line read. Jared has one next episode that I love.
It's just the underrated comedians, in my opinion.
Yeah, truly. So we get that. Dean has the soft spot for kids. We get this sequence where this kid... we find out his brother has been snitched, or the life force has been drained from him. So he's like sitting out and he's like, hey, are you okay? And we get this great soft spot for kids where he's essentially just telling him, he's like, this is not your fault. Yeah. I love that. I love when an adult, it's the Rocket Man has the movie Rocket, Elton John movie Rocket Man has a great scene like that.
It's very sweet. And my note is literally, this is like Dean's inner child speaking to him. Like this is a very beautiful literal moment.
Yeah, he's
of Dean being able to be like, this is not your fault.
He's getting to tell his younger self something he wished someone had told him.
100%.
I think that's really fascinating. We get then my next note is this episode is literally it. Like it is. It's a brother, little brother, whatever. Dean drives this kid to the hospital.
Also,
or no, this kid. Dean drives this mom to the hospital.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is very sweet. I think.
Love it. And then when he's doing that, we cut to Sam in the library looking at microfiche.
Again, lighting, guys.
Oh my God, it's stunning for no reason.
He's scrolling the microfiche, the newspapers, on the like little projector screen, and it's projected onto his face, like going, dude, we lost something. This is why all mystery movies need to take place in the late 90s and the early 2000s, because we get stuff like that.
Microfiche, come back to me, beloved.
Straight up. It's anyway, he discovers some stuff. He discovers a photo.
Yes. Also, I just think it's fun that he rattles off a couple town names that are most like town names I've never heard of in my entire life, and I had to write down who comes up with town names for things like this.
I don't know, but
it's the job I want.
A PA, a writer's assistant, just
like,
Googles it.
Yeah, get that one.
Anyway, so Sam figures that he calls Dean and he tells him, he's like, hey, there's a picture of what's the doctor's name?
Dr. Heidecker.
Dr. Heidecker in this newspaper from like the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah.
And he's like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, it's him. And Dean turns around and he's like in there with the kids.
Yeah. And you're like, oh.
And he gets this great stare off moment of like, that guy's hurting children and I can't kill him, because they've discovered, and Dean says this, Dean has his own journal and he remembers that he's been telling Sam he remembers how to kill this thing from it when his dad failed to kill it, and they think it's the exact one.
Yeah.
They're not positive, but the implication is that this is the exact one and this is unfinished business for Dean, which they get into in a little bit. Dean can't do this and he can't kill it, and they've figured out that the only way to kill it is while it's feeding, to hit it with like iron rod bullets. So it's a particular type of bullet that can kill this thing, but it has to be while it is feeding on something. So Dean gets back and he's tuned up. This dude's mad, and he gives a line that I literally paused and was like, whoa. But he goes, I wasn't packing, which is probably a really good thing because I probably would have just burned a clip in him off the principal alone.
And you're like,
chef's kiss, Jensen.
Yeah.
Good work.
Yeah. Period.
And that again goes to show Dean's guilt in this episode is really, it's strong.
100%.
And they start it slow. Like at first you're just like, something's going on. Okay. Oh, it's guilt. Okay, it's guilt. He's really guilty. We don't quite know why yet. And then we find out after this, he finally reveals to Sam.
Yes.
That back in the day when his dad was gone, he was stuck in this hotel room for like 3 days and he just needed to get out. So he went out across the street and played in the arcade. And he locked the door, and Sam was asleep.
He was a good boy.
He was as responsible as an irresponsible thing could be.
Yeah, it's like
he's a kid. He's a child.
He's a kid. Again, John Winchester, when I fucking catch you.
Yeah. So then when he comes back, he realizes he's like, oh no, and he creeps to the door. And the thing that I find so scary about this, the Striga has Sam turned in the bed. Which just terrifies me that he turned together. There's something about it that I don't even know if it was intentional or if it was just more of like a blocking thing.
Yeah.
But it's so freaking, and he's like reaching down, or he's like about to suck the life force out of Sam, and Dean like slowly picks up this shotgun that's way too big for him. Kid Dean does. And he clicks it, and the thing looks over, and John bursts into the room and down, Dean, and he bang bang, he starts shooting this thing, and it literally just flings itself out the window.
He was like, anyways,
and
I'll see my ass out of here.
And then Jensen Dean is telling Sam this, and he mentions, he's like, Dad and I never talked about that, but he always looked at me a little different.
Yeah.
And that is so fucked up. It's so dark.
And as usual, I have written my favorite note of all. Dean is John's perfect soldier and Sam is John's perfect son. John doesn't go to check on Dean. He runs over to hold Sam, who's been asleep and hasn't been, and as far as we know, didn't even get any life force sucked out. He's
he did a little bit.
He did a little bit, but he's like, anyway, and then he's like, glaring at Dean, and you're like,
yeah. So again, this is unfinished business. The episode, they come out of this, and Dean's like, we're killing this thing tonight. Like it's happening.
Yeah.
And he has to talk Sam into this, but they have to use the kid as bait. Michael as bait, which is very sad. So they do. It takes some convincing. He says no, and then he knocks on the door. He's like, if I do this, if I help you, will Asher get better?
Yeah, and you're like,
oh. And Dean looks at him, and there's this moment of understanding. But I love that Dean just tells him the truth. He's like, we don't know.
And I love too in that scene when they're trying to convince him at the desk, and he's like, you guys are crazy. We have one of my favorite lines of the episode, which is, I'd give anything not to tell you this, but sometimes nightmares are real.
Oh my God, yeah, what a line, right?
You're like, ugh.
It's so good.
And we'll get to it. There's another thing at the end of this episode.
Yes,
but
the ending of this episode is very sad.
This episode is very much about guilt and innocence, and not innocence as in like you're guilty of something.
Yeah.
But just this kind of, I don't know. We discussed this a lot about who has it worse, of Sam never being able to not know this life, or Dean knowing it, and anyways.
Yeah, it's sad. Well, anyway,
depressing episode, guys.
They line this up. They have a camera in the room, and the Striga starts
the
entering.
the nanny cam.
It's not a nanny cam. It looks like it, but it's just their video camera that.
Oh, okay, and he's like, with the
it's
night
got night
vision.
And I don't know why that made me laugh.
I don't know why, because it's just kind of like, it's not really old technology, but it's just kind of oldish.
There's something
enough.
about the camcorder. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The thing starts coming in, and they have to use their consecrated iron rod iron rounds, which is what they are, to kill this thing. And it pulls the sheets back, and he's leaning in, and he's about to start sucking life force, and they burst in and go, hey, and it looks up, and its mouth stops, and dude, they light this thing up. They empty the clip into it.
It is crazy.
Boom, boom, and the cool practical squid, they're not squibs because no blood, because it's a monster, but the dust is coming out in the big effect. It's really cool.
It's really cool. They should have here.
Yeah, Michael's rolled out, and they have to wait to get Michael out of the way, which is why this doesn't work. Knocks everybody around. People are getting flung like they always are, and he starts killing Sam again, like adult Sam. He's sucking the life force out of him, and Dean just, hey, boom, and this
crazy
really cool headshot. He falls off and crumbles to the ground. I really liked that. It was really good
cool.
effect. And Dean has finished his business, and then he gets up and he double taps him. He shoots him a couple more times.
And Dean took that personally.
Yeah, I love that it's like this. It sells. It's a funny Dean moment, but it sells that no, he's making sure that thing is dead.
That thing is never getting up again.
Yeah, the mom is back, and she picks up Michael. She's like, oh, we can go to the hospital only if you want. He's like, get in the whatever. They go on.
Asher's okay.
Asher's okay.
Fine.
It's a very sweet moment, and then Sam's like, man, it bums me out that kid's never gonna
be innocent.
He's never gonna have the same innocence again, and He's like, I kind of wish I had that, you know? And Dean just gives this he kind of throws it away in a great way. He's like, well, Sam, he's like, I wish that for you too. You know?
Like,
so he's like, sometimes I wish that for you too. And it's so sad, but this is a good one. Oh, we need to state Dean gets the kill here.
Dean gets the kill. Dean
we keep
pulls
forgetting
even
this.
further ahead.
It's Sam 4, Dean 9. Here's our board. It's unbelievable that we're 20 some or 18 episodes in, and our kill count is that low because so many episodes they don't do it.
Literally.
Doesn't matter. It's fun.
So we only have one death as well, but it's a great one.
Yeah, well, we'll get it. Any last things we didn't talk about in this episode before we rush? I like this one. I think this one is held up.
It's held up great.
Some of the directing is not like my favorite, but that's mostly because the flashbacks and there's kids, so you really have to you have to be very specific how you block it and very easy and simple for them. So some of the directing doesn't get to be as flashy as other episodes, but then parts of it really do.
Yeah. No, the only miscellaneous note I have is that Sam and Dean have my favorite fits on in this episode. You were like, what shirt is he wearing? I was like, please never disrespect Sam's Greyhound shirt again.
I know. We'll get you that Greyhound shirt.
It's just this is one of the random little details that I always end up noticing is just fun wardrobe.
Well, let's jump into it. What is the best line of this episode for you?
For me, it's I'd give anything not to tell you this, but sometimes nightmares are real.
That is probably the best line in the episode. I fully agree. I really like that. I really like I'm the older brother, so it means I'm always right. But the one for me is the one that I freaked out. It was like I wasn't packing, which is probably a good thing because which is probably a really good thing because I probably would have burned a clip in him just on principle. So good.
Yeah.
And then the nominating the kill, there's only one death, so it's the streak of death, but it's a great one. The
it's
headshot
a really fun one.
Is really they find a way to make it pretty violent without it really seeing anything.
Because I totally forgot too that it wasn't because I went out loud. Are they going to both have to get the kill? No. And then I was like, I think they're about to scream us, which they did because then he popped back up and started calling.
Not my movie. Yeah. Anyway, good stuff. All right, moving on. All right, season 1, episode 19, Provenance, written by David Ephraim, I think is how you say his name. Ephraim. Directed by Philip Sgriccia.
Yeah, he's one of the main executive producers of the show.
So this is also a really cool episode.
Really, this is one I had a lot of vivid memories of.
The cold open is really scary.
Oh, yeah.
It's gross.
It's pretty gross.
We get some gross stuff. This is a pretty good gross episode.
This is a pretty fun, bloody episode.
Yeah, so anyway, it's them hanging this creepy old painting of this family.
And they're like...
Close up on a little girl, close up on the father looking down at her.
I love that this couple got really drunk at this charity auction. We're like, hold on, we gotta put it up before we have sex.
This thing. It's great. It's fantastic.
That's the kind of stuff that you and I would get up to if we had money. She'd be like, we gotta go buy this fuck-ass painting.
So she goes to bed. He's doing something... There's some spookiness going on. Mm-hmm. The painting is moved. We watch the painting move a little bit. And when he comes to bed, he climbs in bed and there's like this wet squelch.
Squelching in the subtitles.
It's super gross. And he turns on a light and it's her blood and her throat is slit.
Yes.
And then a good cold open, really
Very
scary.
Fun.
And then the haunted painting is something I have always really liked.
I love it.
It's a cool idea.
I love at the end of the cold open too. Like I love the kind of like POV shots of the cold open a little bit. Like there's a little bit of POV, and then the way the cold open ends is like it zooming in onto him. Yeah. Like clearly attacking him. I just love a POV shot.
And yet again, after this cold open, we get John having noted a case in his journal that they have to now go clean up.
As usual, John noticed this case and did nothing. What does he even do?
Yeah, so...
They're like, John's the best hunter in the game. I'm like, is he?
I know. So Dean's been flirting with somebody at a bar. They decide to go look into this. Dean goes and he scores with these women or whatever.
Yeah. Finally.
Yeah, finally, right? Finally a play worked. He just had to completely lie about everything.
Yeah. He just had to lie about
be a scout
reality TV scout, which the most 2005 thing I can think of.
Yes, and we introduced the idea, and a big part of this episode is that Sam's like, I can pick up chicks whenever I want. He's like, yeah, but you don't.
Yeah.
Right. So it's introducing that idea,
which to me is a call forward. Not that they would have ever even thought about this yet, but there's a line in the beginning of season 4 where Dean's like, didn't know you were like, Dean implies that Sam has picked up a sex worker, and Sam goes, I don't have to pay, Dean.
That's fantastic. I can't wait to get to that.
That's a classic.
So they drive off in the morning. They get there.
Dean's atrociously hungover.
Yeah, Dean's atrociously hungover and asleep, and outside the house that Sam has broken into and investigated.
Yes.
And he comes out and he honks the horn, and Dean like, in a great bit of physical comedy. And then I love Jared's like giddy laugh. He doesn't really do that as much later on.
He doesn't do it as much later on, but I have quite a few notes over the last couple episodes where, especially in Hell House, where I love Jared's like squeaky little laugh.
Yes.
It's so cute.
It's really funny. He says the house is clean, and he's like, well, yeah. And he's like, no, it's empty. Like, they've emptied the house. They find out everything in the house is being up for auction already. They crash this private viewing, private estate sale or whatever it is.
And in the parking lot.
Things. Yeah, okay.
In the parking lot, there's a license plate that says the Crip on it, which, like KRIP, which I was like, I can only hope that that's Eric Kripke's actual car, that he just was like, let's just use my car for this shot.
I would love that so much.
But I love it panning from like the fancy cars over to the Impala. Like, that's a fun little like, these guys are out of place.
The Impala is a fancy car.
It's a fancy car.
Let's
not. But no, because later in this scene, of course, Dean goes garage sale for wasps, if you ask me, and those are waspy cars.
Yeah. Well, they're in, and he's eating the food, and the head of the event walks up, and he's clocked them as not being here. He's like, there's a private event. He's like, oh, we're these people. We're on the list. And he's like, check it again. But I love that Dean goes, I'd like some champagne, please. Seems like he's not a waiter. The champagne comes, he grabs it, drinks it, they walk off.
It's so funny.
And they find the painting, and they're looking at it, and they're like, oh. And then Sarah walks down the stairs, kind of throws out a fake fact about the painting, and Sam says the truth, and she's testing them.
Yeah.
Immediately there's an obvious connection, and these two have great chemistry.
They have great chemistry. She is one of my favorite one-off love interest characters from the show.
I should also note that this is another episode where somebody is in it later as a completely different character. The little girl that ends up being the villain, the little girl is in season like 14 or 15.
I'm sure is an adult woman by then.
Yeah, completely as an adult woman, and she's a different character. Anyway, that is what it is.
And she's from Silent Hill.
And she is she's the little girl from Silent Hill, yeah.
Are they looking at the painting yet or no?
No, they're looking at the painting because she comes down and she's like, oh, it's this like whatever. Okay. She throws out an arrow or something.
But yeah, she has a great line here too of sensationalism brings out the crowds, even the rich ones, which I think is like...
It's true. That's a good line.
I like it a lot. Again, this episode is a little bit like... rich people are there's kind of an undertone of like class here, which I think is really interesting because I think Dean is aware that he sticks out kind of like a sore thumb in these situations, which I really enjoy. And again, like Dean munching and drinking whenever he can is to me like such a symptom of like their food insecurity as children. Anyways,
they're kicked out.
Yes.
She's like, Dad, that was rude. This is her dad.
Yeah.
Not that really matters in the grand scheme of this episode. It doesn't really come up. That happens, and they get to the best motel room ever. It is just decked out, disco completely, and they make a whole moment where it's like, and it like zooms in on them as they're staring at this place, just perplexed.
It's so great and
fantastic.
I'm sure it's a set. Like,
it has to be. But a set.
To me, I like to think that they were just like they found a crazy disco themed motel
and
they
didn't
were like,
tell them what it was going to be until they walked in. I would love that.
Because why else is it written in that this is a disco motel other than like the set decorators were like, we're sick of this. Can we do a fun one?
Yeah. So anyway, Dean's plot and his ever growing quest to get Sam laid.
You're like, dude.
He's like, we need to find out more about that painting, so you have to take her on a date. I think his exact words is like, she wasn't checking out my butt. Which
is so funny.
I love this. Dean's giddy about it, and he's also right. Like they do need more information. So Sam, he dials and hands the phone to Sam. Sam calls her. They go on a date. And it's really cute. Really sweet scene. It's simple and well shot. And the beer moment I really like, where Sam clearly does not know what to do with this wine list.
Sam has never been somewhere with a wine list.
Yeah, so he's just looking at it. She's like, I don't know about him, but I would like a beer. And he's like, yes. They have great chemistry. They did a really good job. In the similar way that like Dean and Cassie have great chemistry. These two have great chemistry.
100%. Which is funny because I think you and I both agree, me a little less so because I still like some of the characters like the Hookman girl. But Sam has gotten kind of the short end of like love interests and whatnot. Except for like his random thing with Meg. And then we find out immediately that there's nothing with Meg. But I also love that Sam is so like cutie pie giddy during this date.
Yes.
Like he can like, it's very sweet.
He looks out of place. He looks uncomfortable, but he's clearly likes her and is having fun.
He's got these sweet smiles and he's all bashful. And it's very nice to see And they have this very beautiful bonding moment.
About the loss of a loved one.
Ones. And also this woman is just
similar timelines too.
Yes, it was a year ago. And this woman's also just like drop dead gorgeous. So it doesn't hurt.
She's beautiful. Scene, and then I love this. One of my notes is we cut back to the motel room and Dean is sharpening his knives, and Sam on a date, Dean sharpens his knife with the oldest
whetstone known
ever,
man.
And you're just like, all right, I'm into it. And it's his pocket knife. It's not even like
it's so funny. You can tell he was like done through. He'd gone through everything else by the time Sam got back and was like, now I'm just down to my pocket knife.
So they figure out that everywhere this painting has been, people have died. So they decide, they're like, okay, we have to go burn it. And they find that the family was cremated. That's also important.
Yes.
So they're like, okay, it's the painting. The painting's the thing that has to go. We get great Winchester climbing, maybe the best of the season, because all of a sudden there's like rock music, this like rock riff comes in, carries over the whole scene. But
the score's been great these last.
They jump over this big gate, this big like great ornate gate, over it and run into this like fog with this light back. It's so TV. It's so cool.
And then Sam like suddenly knows how to disarm like an alarm system.
Yes, he's hacked the alarm system.
I mean.
They break in, they get there, they climb up, they cut the painting out of the frame, which is confusing to me. Why not just take the whole thing?
I know. I'm like, why
not? But it leads to a very cool moment. So they take it out, they light it on fire, and as it's burning, it's regenerating inside.
It's so cool.
It's so cool. But we get this great shot where it really goes up in flames and they're standing behind the fire and it like goes up to about their height.
It's so awesome.
It's rad. That shot is so good. And the idea of the painting burning and then like the way they affect it back into things, it's like it's burning
looks like it's
back
burning.
in.
Yeah, it's such a
so
cool effect. I love the way they shoot fire in this show. I always will. The way this show will use like fire as a light and then you just like kind of forget that the fire is coming from like a burning body.
Yeah. Well, so they do that. They think they're good. They're clearly not. The audience knows they're not. They go back to the motel room the next morning. Dean's like, we got to go back. I think I dropped my wallet at the warehouse. They go back in. They're looking around. Sarah shows up and Dean goes, oh, hey. And Sam tries to be like, oh, we're leaving town. I was coming to say goodbye. And Dean's like, oh, we're staying another day or two. Anyway, here's that $20 and he pulls out his wallet and he just wanted to get him back there.
It's such a great brother gag. I'm like, no, I had it the whole time.
And also from like a plot standpoint, it's a good way to get them back where it's like it's such a smart way for them to go, oh, we did it. This is because the painting gets brought out.
And Sam goes, oh my God.
No, the delivery on this is important because just like you, he goes, "Oh my God!" Like he's
so funny.
He played that up, and then the rest of that scene, he's like, "Yes, in town,
I need that painting."
He's like, "What are you interested in buying that?" He's like, "Buying it? God no!" But I love that he's like, "Buying it? No,
no. Don't sell it though."
Yeah, do not ever sell it. So, and from her perspective, she's just be like, "What is that?" Great.
She's like, what's up with this freak? Anyways, and then they go back out to their car and we get, I think, our first in unison car door shut of the whole show.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I don't think it hasn't happened yet.
It's a Winchester classic.
It's really good. So they do that. They go to an old timer who delivers a ginormous leather book, and when he plops it down, dust goes everywhere. And this is my favorite old timer of the season for this very specific reason: is how happy he is to finally talk about his subject.
Yes,
he's sitting there
you guys
like
some crime buffs.
He's like happy and gleeful, and they keep asking questions. He's like, oh, good to know. And he picks up another book. I love this guy. This episode has a great energy.
Yes.
You know, it's like not necessarily the funniest episode, but it has just everyone in it is working and playing their charactery roles really well. I like it.
This would be you and me.
Very much. Yeah, you and I are like, you want to talk about my special interest?
I'm like, you guys crime buffs? I would love to talk to you about the Grizzly murders.
Books. Wait, that's very much us. What do they find out in this scene exactly?
They kind of find out some history about like why
he
did it.
They find out that it was believed that the dad killed all the family.
Yes, and that the wife was planning to leave him and he was a very harsh man. And they also notice that there are a couple key details in the print of the painting in the book.
That's right.
That are very different.
Yeah, the father's looking ahead is the main thing they notice now.
Yes, because he's looking down at the daughter in the painting.
And later they discover that the
painting in the background of the painting.
And the razor's open and closed. Anyway, so they discover differences, go to the house of the new owner because they realized it was bought.
Yes.
And Sam calls her and is like, hey,
can you meet us here?
No, he just goes, I need that address right now.
Yes.
And they rush there and she's there and they're trying to get in and they can't. They just don't have time to explain. I love when they don't have time to explain it.
Yes, it's so great. Hold on. But before that, they have this kind of brief thing where they're like, okay, well, we got to they go back to the motel for a little bit, and Dean has this really sweet moment of
Oh, I
talking to
completely
Sam.
skipped this. Yes, we need to talk about this.
Of being just genuinely like, no, I can tell like you
he
guys.
He starts out as a dick, like
Yeah.
he always does.
Yeah, he has to. He makes it a sandwich. He has to be dickish comment that's kind of funny.
Yeah,
sweetness.
He's
dickish
trying
comment.
he's again trying to get Sam to like see somebody, and I just love how Jensen plays it. I love the writing of this moment.
Yes,
because he just essentially says something along the lines of like, "Look, no disrespect, it's about Jess, right?"
Yeah.
He essentially just goes, "Don't you think she would want you to be happy?" I love that Dean, this like abrasive character, handles this moment so well.
It's so
really good.
sweet. It's very gentle. Like, and he does it in this way where he's kind of like studiously like looking at something on the bed. Like he doesn't necessarily throw it away, but he has this beautiful like just casualness about it that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
And it's just very sweet. And also, no one should ever tell you that if I die, and I will haunt you if that happens.
Okay,
so.
I will stay unhappy forever. Anyway, they rush out to go do this. They get to the woman's house. Before that, there's this great shot of the razor in the reflection of her glasses.
So cool. This episode goes hard.
Yeah, before she gets killed, they get in. Sarah's there, and she like walks over and goes, "Oh, whatever," and grabs her, and her head falls back, and you see the like.
So yucky.
They look up. The painting has moved. Sarah has seen the painting move. Sam and Dean are in their hotel room the next morning. She rushes in. She's like, "I just lied to the cops, so start explaining." And they essentially just give her the spiel that they always do.
And try to be like, "Oh, like you can't come along with us. It's too dangerous." And she's like, "I don't really care." Yeah.
And then she does that, and a big speech storms out. And Dean just goes, "Sam, marry that girl." Fantastic. Great.
Awesome.
They get there. They discover some other differences in the painting, namely the crypt in the background is in it.
The mausoleum.
The mausoleum.
Yes.
So they go to the mausoleum. There's this great shot of these bolt cutters coming down over it. They go in. They're the cremated thing. They realize the father is not there because he got something else.
Dean like they go to the county records, and what Dean finds out is that the father was like put in like a pauper's grave, like he was buried separately because everyone was mad at him for killing.
Yeah, wasn't cremated. But during that scene when Dean's inside figuring that out, Sam and Sarah have another really good conversation where essentially Sam's like, "This life people get hurt," and she's a real one for still wanting to date him immediately after finding out about monsters. But can you blame her? Just like me, for real, dude. Jared,
literally,
that's a handsome guy.
That's a handsome fella.
Anyway, so,
I love also in the scene that she says, "So this is what you guys do for a living?" And he goes, "Not exactly. We don't get paid."
Yeah, great, fantastic. She goes with them to dig it up and burn the bones, which is fantastic. She's like, "This is it's making me uncomfortable how comfortable you are with this."
You guys seem to be uncomfortably comfortable with this.
Yeah,
it's really funny.
Great. They do this. They go back to the house, and it has not worked at all.
Evil little girl laughs ensue.
Sam and Sarah are trapped in the house. Dean is trapped inside, and he can't pick the lock. They're kind of talking. He's like, "You need to find some. You got to hold her off, and you got to figure it out, right?" And so
another time, I love that they like hand off who has to get stuck and who has to go figure it out.
Yeah. So and again at this point, it's been revealed that the I guess it hasn't been revealed yet, but it's the ghost of the daughter. Yes. And we don't know why. We eventually find out that she was adopted and she killed her previous family also, and then killed them. And who would suspect her? She's a little girl. Pretty good little fight scene ensues where they're looking for salt, and he's just like, "What kind of house doesn't have salt?"
Low sodium freaks.
Yeah, and they're looking for iron as well. And then they're trying to figure out what the remains could be, because if it's not the painting and it's not
she's cremated.
What's left? And they're like, "Well, the doll." And Sarah gives this really interesting knowledge that a character like her would have.
Yes, in the past, like when they would make dolls for kids,
they in their image, and they'd
Sam's
use
like,
their
"That's
hair.
really cool, but how is that helpful right now?"
Yeah,
and
great.
she's like, "Because they would sometimes use the real hair of the child on the doll," which you're like, "What the fuck? What's that? You guys are creepy."
And before that, they go into the house, and Dean turns on the radio in this really funny moment where he's trying to get Sam to hook up with Sarah again.
It's so funny.
Good stuff.
And then another small detail of this is I hate that the ghost is like roaring at them.
Yeah.
It's really freaky. She creeps me out a lot in this episode.
Yeah, so that happens. They get backed up into the hall, and Sarah's like, "That is so wrong," when Ghost Child walks in and she looks all gross and has the ghost doll. And Sam grabs the iron poker, the fire poker, and swats, and she disappears in smoke, which I love the effect. And Dean is racing off to and we get a really good cross-cutting section here. So then they're getting that Sam gets flung and pinned by furniture once again.
Always.
All the time. Dean busts through he literally drives the Impala through the gate of the cemetery.
So fun.
Gets into the mausoleum and is trying to break the glass, and he's literally hitting it with the butt of his gun, and he goes, come on, Dean, and he shoots the glass out.
Funny.
He torches it, and Dean gets our kill. So it is now
Once again.
It is now Sam 4, Dean 10. Man is killing it. Literally. Anyway, so that happens. The ghost in this really cool shot burns away and then burns into the painting, and the
Very
painting
fun.
is restored to its normal state where
Very
the father's
cool.
looking ahead. All the stuff is changed back. Good. I like this.
Great kill.
Dean calls. They're okay. They're at the warehouse the next day, and these guys are boxing up the painting. And she goes, "Where would you want us to take this one?" And she goes, "Oh, take it out back and burn it." And they just look at her. And she's like, "I'm not kidding. Thanks, guys." And they just take it out back and burn it, I guess.
All right. Because what else are you supposed to do? in
Yeah.
that
And then
situation?
she clearly wants a moment alone with Sam, and Dean's like, okay. And I love
she
when
thanks them, but she's like thanking them both, but she's staring directly at Sam saying it.
So Dean walks away and goes, "I'm the one who burned the doll, destroyed the spirit. Don't thank me or anything." I love it.
So
It's really funny. He goes outside. They have this moment of goodbye and something along the lines of, "Well, maybe you can come and see me."
Yeah, and it's just
And he's
this
like, "I will."
sweet little
It's really tender.
melancholic, like kind.
Sam
moment.
goes out. We hold inside with her, and
Mm-hmm.
she's like leaning against the door, and then there's a knock, and part of you thinks, because of the show you're watching, this is a moment I really love. Part of you thinks, "Oh, she's gonna die. They're gonna kill something that's the demons are that they're trying. The demon, the main villain of the season, is gonna kill her." And it's not that, because Dean, we knock. We get a shot of Dean turning around. She opens the door. Sam's there. He walks in, and they have a really nice kiss.
A really nice, sweet
Dean
kiss.
smiles happily, gets in the car, and a shot of them kissing, cut to black. A really tender
It's just a
ending
very
to an episode of
sweet,
Supernatural.
kind episode.
I really like it. Anything we missed on this one?
No, just I have multiple notes that Jared and this woman are like a beautiful couple together.
They
and
are.
They have great chemistry.
They found a great.
We
great
finally
chemistry.
get like you said, like Dean has Cassie as kind of his like love interest with chemistry.
Yeah.
And we finally get that after not seeing
After Jess,
after not seeing Sam really have any romance like period since Jess. So it's nice.
Yes, I think this is a really good episode. I like the ghost painting. A
straight razor, because the dad's like a barber, is a really fun, creepy weapon.
The midpoint kill is whatever with the old woman, but the aftermath of it is cool.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite, or let's just best ofs? Are we ready for best ofs?
Yeah.
Okay, best line of the episode. What do you like?
I'm the one who burned the doll, destroyed the spirit, but don't thank me or anything.
Fantastic.
It's great.
Great line. This is an episode with a bunch of good lines. My favorite is just, "Oh my God."
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
It is hysterical. It's like, guys, I can't stress to you enough, because they really
Continue.
just go, "Oh my God."
Jared plays that moment
It's
really
hysterical.
well. It's
He's like,
very
it's
funny.
like his flat expression is
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about it. It's
two,
really funny.
two great lines in an episode filled with really fun lines. Best kill, what are we nominating?
I'm nominating the first one just because I think like the stalking aspect of it is creepy, and then putting your hand down in something
Yeah.
and being like, "Oh, what is that?" is
Yeah.
just disgusting.
Okay.
What's your favorite one?
Little girl burns into the painting for me.
Interesting.
So I just love that shot of her burning and then going into the painting behind it.
It is very cool.
It's like that moment is such a cool little thing. But how we want to go about this?
To me, that's not her burning back into the painting isn't as cool to me as them burning the painting and it reappearing in
That's
the frame.
a good point. Yeah.
Like, it's the same concept, but I think the painting being burned back into the frame is cooler in my opinion.
Yeah, and the beginning one is grosser and scarier. So
Yeah.
we'll go with yours.
Wow.
There we go.
Wow, good work.
It is very
Great
scary to
litigation.
like get in bed and find somebody murdered. Like that
Oh, yeah.
that idea is just horrifying.
It's disgusting. And I've had an experience like that before where I've walked into a dark room and put my hand down on the bed and touched something, and it's not fun.
Yeah, you're always like, "Oh
You're
no."
like, oh, that was vomit. Okay, like it's not great.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed both of these.
These were two great fun episodes.
We're going into the end of the season.
Yes, we have
So look,
two episodes left.
Well, no, we have.
Well, we have 3, but you guys have 2.
Yes. Okay, so you have 1 week to watch 2 episodes of TV, which are episode 20, Dead Man's Blood, and episode 21, the penultimate episode of the season, Salvation. So those 2 will go together, and then our finale will be its own episode, but we'll get to that. So you have 1 week to watch Dead Man's Blood and Salvation, and then tune back in for this. Very exciting
excited.
times. I'm really excited to finish out this season strong.
I can't believe we finally almost like finished a season.
I know, it's great.
It's crazy.
Anyway, between now and then, you know what to do. Watch some TV, get your journal, hit the road, but remember, you know what's out there. Be afraid of the dark.